tell me what it's like to have an outdoor classroom. The good things, the bad things, and how it differs from, you know, a standard four-walled, boxed-in classroom.
Well, um, being outside, it's more fun, like actually, because it's like being boxed in the whole time. You gotta sit in the seat, and you just gotta be sitting there, and it's like textbook paper, textbook paper. When it's out here, we learn from hands-on experiences, and so what's the good parts about that is like, all right, we also learn something that's gonna be useful later on in life. And like sometimes the textbooks when you're in school, it's like the stuff we learn, we don't actually apply it sometimes to natural, real world experiences. So it's like, oh yeah, we know about history, but how many times are we really going to actually talk about it? Or like when we're out here, so it's like we know how to build a boat, but it's just like, okay, we can actually build a boat to get, if anything bad happened, like if we had to sail off somewhere, we know how to do this and do that. And it's like that hand-on experience is better for us to like, to apply to like to be in the real world.
So, for the academics that you do learn, how does that work? Like, what was some of the academics that you did learn? How did that work?
Well, one academic we was learning is about the human anatomy. That actually applied for us when we went to the backpacking trip, and so basically it was like we'll talk about your core. This is how you're supposed to keep warm. If you get hypothermic, this is how you start to do it. There's 3 signs of hypothermic.
What about what kind of stuff did you learn about academics in the shipbuilding part, the boat building part? So
Measurements.
and what else did you learn about? I noticed the tides. Can you talk about the tides a little bit?
Well, all right. So you can basically say, all right, in tides is like it varies. It varies a lot from new moon to old moon. Pretty much, it's like at a certain point of the month, the tides will be higher, and then at a certain point of the month, the tides will be lower. So it's when when it's a new moon, it's lower, and then when it's a full moon, it's higher. Yeah.
And did you guys talk about why that was important in sailing?
Well, if you're got like a high tide and the current is moving too strong, you may get drafted off somewhere in a certain distance that you don't want. And if it's not enough wind at that point in time, with just straight current and no wind, it's like more you get dragging and less sailing. So basically, it's like with that, you need to know about your tides. So it's like, okay, when tides come in play, it's like, you know when to like go sailing, when it's the perfect time to sail. It's like, all right, yeah, we can sail in this type of water because the water is like basically, it's like there's enough tide, but there's enough wind also to keep it going.